Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of the Nobody Asked For This podcast. Do you like the Nobody Asked For This podcast? No? Well, you're in luck. This episode is going to be, I think, I said this last week, but I think one of our shortest ones ever. Listen, everyone has those weeks, everyone has those days where it's like, is this my best day? The answer is no, but sometimes they turn into good days. Anyway, this might not be a full episode. We're just gonna do a quick check-in. I am in fact in the car. I have in the last hour been in rain, humidity, cold, and traffic. So that's where I'm at. And it's just at a point where it's like, am I really going to record a quality podcast in this environment? You know, sometimes you got to go quality over quantity. Now, I normally do the opposite. I have found, know thyself. I'm very quality. Or sorry, I try to be, but I'm very quantity. In fact, there was a time, I want to say it was grade 1, where for journal class, I had decided that I was going to write the longest story ever. And how I was going to do this is if I just wrote very, 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 every time I wanted to use the term very. So that's kind of like where I started. That's like my origin story. So don't worry, I'm not going to say very, 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 very every time here to just like liven up that word count. I really invented the word count. I don't even think there was a word count for my grade 1 journal. I just think the teacher was interested in knowing like what I did that summer. I would always use the what I did last summer journal like against my family. I'd be like, if we don't do more than go to the Old Navy sale rack to get clothes that might fit me in 4 years, I'm going to write about it in my what I did in summer journal. Because, like, that would be, like, a negative reflection on, like, the summer I had. Like, yeah, all we did was go to the grocery store and Old Navy. Now, it all comes full circle because it's summer now and all I do is go to the grocery store and Old Navy. So really, you really just turn into your parents. I think at the end of the day, like, just lean in. If you're fighting it, if you're trying to like be your own person, just look at your parents and say, you know what, let's just be you anyway. It's a lot less thinking. It's a lot less trying to develop a personality. It's a lot less, again, just like mental thought. So there's that. That's what I would say. Think less. That'd be my platform that I'm running on. Anyway, no, I think a couple people have stole that one. Anyway, I hope everyone has had a great week. We are like, I mean, I don't want to rush it. I feel like a lot of times I rush time, but like, it's not almost mid-August. It's quarter August. We're a quarter of the way through August. I hope everyone is having a great quarter August. Is that a festival? Like Midsummer? I don't exactly know the history of Midsummer. I did see that movie once. In like no disrespect to the traditions or anything, but the movie was wild. And I would like no part of that representation of Midsummer. Now, if there's like a fun one where there's like, I don't know, like a loot bag, but like, okay, sorry, that sounds like bad. That sounds like drugs. I mean like a, you know when you used to go to a birthday party and they would give you like the little treat bag and it would be like a combination of things that like if you went to the dentist you would have had to pick one, but like you get them all. on second thought, what was the point of those street bags? I'd imagine Greta Thunberg has since outlawed those, because it was a lot of just like plastic stuff that all ended back in landfill. So I'd imagine those aren't like super popular now. Maybe they have like, like in the same way they have paper straws, maybe they have like paper My Little Pony figurines. Paper mache. I always wanted to do paper mache, and I never did. I don't know why I was reflecting on that as if I was someone on my like deathbed. Like there's still so much opportunity, knock on wood, jinx, 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 whatever I have to say, to do some paper mache. I'm understanding of the paper element. The mache throws me for a loop. I feel like I would get it everywhere. But I mean, I guess that's just life. I don't know. Everybody makes mistakes. Everyone has those days. But yeah, I hope everyone is having an excellent summer. We do this every year. I think we're going to hold off one more week. And then next week will be the return of the Pumpkins Are Coming episode. I feel like every year I do like a Fall Has Started episode. Usually around the time pumpkin spices come out. I've been open to the fact that I have purchased candy corn in July at points. We are now past July, which is crazy. Like the fact that we're not going to experience another July for like a whole year hasn't fully set in. Because it still very much feels like July. But then also the weather is like September. Although sometimes, and forgive me, this podcast is going nowhere. That's why this is going to be one of the shorter ones, people. But sometimes September ends up being hotter than August. And like, I relate to that. Where it's like, it wasn't the one you thought, but it was the one you got. Type thing. Anyway, I'm kind of going back to sweating now. Because this weather can't decide what it is. It was nice for a second. Like, I don't mind a random day of rain in the summer. I also am not very much of an outdoor cat. So, like, the weather doesn't really faze me. I'm in a hoodie 99% of the time. Like, do you know how most people in the summer will get, like bikini tans, or like their swim trunks will tan? I get tan lines on my wrists because I'll be wearing like a hoodie. Or I'll get like full like collar tans where it was like clear that I wasn't wearing a tank top. I don't think I've worn a tank top since 2005. Nor does the world need, want, or appreciate me in a tank top. So there's also that. Like, me and my environment are both on the same page about me in a tank top. And I've never felt more free. So there's that. But yeah, what else can we chat about? We are firmly, I just realized, in Q3. I think. January, February, March, April, May, June. Oh, we've been in Q3. We're almost halfway through Q3. That's crazy. We are going to be spelling peppermint mocha. And in my case, I'm going to be spilling peppermint mocha all over the center console of my car in what will feel like 3 seconds, flat or otherwise. That is nuts. That's crazy. But you just gotta let it ride, you know? Like, time does fly. I'm sure there's like 19 songs I could pull from. Time does fly. You gotta let it ride. Oh, I hope I make this light. You know, if nothing else, my stance on the Nobody Asked for This podcast is when I record them on the go, it's like, what a great practice session for when I eventually have to become a tour guide. Because I actually think I would be a good tour guide. I would be a good, driving tour guide, see the stars, poster type situation. And this is all my audition for that. That's all this is. This is my audition to drive, the Disney Cruise tour. And that'll be that. Anyway, I'm arriving to my destination. In all honesty, I am stopping at a store to buy raspberries that I don't need. After sitting in traffic, for almost 2 hours that I didn't want to be in. Yet I'm really prioritizing these berries. So, listen, the heart wants what it wants. I promise next week, not only will next week be a regular episode, it will be really one of the most anticipated of the year. Again, we will do our Pumpkins Are Coming. I'll do a recap maybe of, some autumnal movies coming out. The Hallmark Channel doesn't do enough pumpkin patch movies. I think because fall comes and goes so fast, you can really start celebrating the other holidays much sooner these days for some reason. So it's almost like fall doesn't get its shine. Let's all make a pact, okay? On this date, we are gonna give fall a chance. Okay, that is the hashtag. Hashtag give fall a chance. I don't miss hashtags. I feel like we as a society have really strayed away from the hashtag. I remember when I first heard what a hashtag was, I had never been more confused in my life. I was also probably about 12. So that's just a confusing time in general. So I was figuring a lot out. But hashtag give fall a chance this year. Apologies for not making so much sense, but this is a good sort of snippet, forgive my breaks, of what you can expect on the Nobody Asked for This podcast. So thank you so much for listening. I'm going to go in and grab my raspberries. I hope you all have a great day. If you like what you heard, you can go to podcastnobodyasked.podbean.com. On there, you can get links to everything. iTunes, Spotify. You can, I think, just straight up listen to the episodes on there. And then we'll be back next week with the pumpkin episode. So stay tuned. I hope everyone has a great week. Goodbye.